Yes, on we go on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We have got in with us a brother coming out of the land of Jamaica, and he's been here for a couple of days, leaving in a few. And his name is Bookman, Dutty Bookman, and of course, it's an interesting name. So we're going to talk about that. But let's welcome him to the program. It's good having you.
Thank you very much for having me. Respect.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So it's all about reggae groundings in Guyana. Let's talk about reggae groundings, the concept about reggae groundings. And of course, groundings teaches a little bit of history, a little bit of, what what you're trying to pull out of the ground at the bottom. It's really getting that foundation out.
Yes.
So let's talk about reggae groundings in Guyana.
Yeah, reggae groundings is a concept that I came up with because I had the sudden opportunity to come to Guyana. A good brethren of mine, thought that I should come and look around, and I was inspired because one of the books that I read while I was becoming a conscious person was Walter Rodney's Groundings with My Brothers, which he came to Jamaica as an intellectual in the university, and he decided not to just stay within his academic circles, but to go and speak to the common people of Jamaica, to ground with Rastafari people as well. And so he came up with this book that spoke of the conditions, and I figured, coming to the land of Walter Rodney, it was only fitting for me to use my abilities as a DJ in reggae music, among other things, to hold groundings in the same light here.
All right. What have you found since you came back? Since you came to Guyana, sorry.
What have I found? I found that there's an immense similarity between Guyanese people and Jamaican people. Besides accents, sometimes I have issues comprehending all the words, but it is basically the same. We're one people. That's the most overwhelming thing that I've found, and I really can't even highlight many differences. The differences are so minute. Yeah, man.
The name Dutty Bookman is a strange name in the Guyanese culture. Dutty and then Bookman. Well, Bookman, of course, you can understand. But how did you come across? How did you get the name Dutty? Yeah.
Well, by chance, it is a nickname I had from high school back in I went to Campion College in Jamaica. But I later learned that there was this man, Dutty Bookman, who was said to be formerly enslaved in Jamaica, 18th century, and he was transferred to a new so-called owner in French-owned, French-controlled Haiti. And from there, he is known to have instigated what is now known as the Haitian Revolution. Okay. So I took on that name because it is a name that we in the African diaspora are not widely aware of, and it is a shame that someone so great went down, as just a mere footnote in history. So I try to revive that name,
Okay.
Yeah, man.
You're also an author, and you've written 2 books there. I see they're
Yes.
interesting-looking books.
Yes.
Tell us about the stories going into the background of these books.
Yes, so I went to university in Florida, the year 2000 going on to 2006, and then I returned to Jamaica and started looking around at the conditions of my people in a new light, And this book is my first book. It's called Tried and True, Revelations of a Rebellious Youth. It is basically a memoir that I wrote talking about those next 4 years from 2006 going till about 2010. Just my observations, my experiences, the jobs that I had, the reactions I got from people for different situations, being locked up for marijuana at one point, and just how that all unfolded. And it kind of is a precursor to what is now known as the reggae revival. It kind of gives insight into the conditions that a lot of creative geniuses of our time who are rising up now, the conditions that we are living in this time. Okay. And what is stimulating, the creative output of musicians, artists, visual artists, writers such as myself and more. My second book is Fatidic, Selected Duttyisms. It's just a collection of old writings from my blog. Okay. My blog is duttyism.com, DUTTYISM.com. And so this is just a collection of old writings from the website. Okay. And we have a publishing company, Bookman Express, that my wife and I run, as we raise our 2 boys as well. And we had the good fortune to find a young author by the name of Gladstone Taylor. And he's a young journalist from Kingston. And we published his first book called King Sun, The Testaments of Sunlight and Water. So, you know, it's something that we have a vision to publish young authors within the Caribbean and wider African diaspora to raise the voices of our people and the contemporary voices. What are the youth thinking of in this time? There are differences between, you know, our elders and ourselves, and we need to connect the dots now. Yeah, man.
What are you hoping, as we get ready to wrap up, coming out of the conversation, what are you hoping to achieve out of establishing reggae groundings in Guyana?
You know, I'm hoping to achieve a wider awareness of the reggae revival movement, which I represent. I had the good fortune to coin the name of the movement, Reggae Revival. And coming out of that same period when I was in Jamaica, that, you know, post-graduation, I got to see this underground movement rise, an underground movement of creatives, as I mentioned, different multidisciplinary creatives, and the people behind them who are administrating, young people who are rising them up as well, you know. So I'm talking about people like Chronix, Protege, Jesse Royal, Janine, the Nomads, Raging Fire, Pentatush, the Ibamar. There are a lot of young ones now coming up and popping up from different areas of Jamaica, and it's indicative of a social revolution happening through arts and culture. So I really want to impress upon the Guyanese people that our young people are our treasure, and when they are coming into adulthood and consciousness and expressing, we need to find ways to nurture them. We need to find safe spaces for them to practice their craft, because in Jamaica that was what made a Protege who he is today. You know, as little as 2009, he had never worked with a band before, and he had the opportunity to go to a place called Jamnesia, which is kind of the springboard and the nurturing ground, very well put, for this reggae revival movement. So I want to see Guyana create more safe spaces, and all over the Caribbean as well, because the Caribbean has a potential to unite and to put out waves back across the Atlantic, you know.
So you're coming back to Guyana. When you come back, we hope that you touch down with us. Let's talk about how your work is going and continuing.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Yeah.
I still say respect.
Man, Dutty Bookman there coming out of Jamaica, and we're hoping that he leaves tomorrow, so that you have a chance to touch base with him when he comes back to Guyana and find out how his, you know, body is growing and really booming in this beautiful land of ours.